think we're live.
I think we are live. Let me turn this down.
We're only a few minutes late.
I know we were like running in a while ago.
It's always a rat race on Wednesday night, but we're making it work.
Fun times.
Fun times, yeah.
All right, so Mandy says, hey, I'm needing help with my seedlings. They have decided to die in the greenhouse. Is your greenhouse too hot? What quality soil are you using, and what are you actually trying to grow? So that would be my 3 questions for you, Mandy.
Moisture is another thing. You don't want to underwater. You want your soil to be moist, but not too wet.
You could go with the soil. I call it soil. You actually say it probably right. Simply Southern Roots, what's going on? Miss Diana, Dreamweavers, how are you? Miss Frankie, how are you doing? Sorry we were a little late, y'all. We had to
Getting everybody settled.
Get it together. Hey, Isabel.
Well, it was pretty warm.
Am I shaking
You're shaking
the
the
I'm sorry.
camera. You're going to
I'm
make
sorry.
them all
I'm sorry.
camera stick.
Our table.
It was warm down here in the south today.
Oh, it's so nice. We need some warmness.
It was very warm. It was so warm, I almost started sweating outside.
I don't sweat in the mornings. It's amazing. It's still cold in the mornings though. Like I was bundled up this morning.
Yeah.
I was used to. Yesterday we have a video coming out, but we've been doing getting ready, prepping the beds and all that. And I was the same way. I told Misty, I said, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do some things. And I was like, I'm not gonna wear a long sleeve. It's not that bad. So I said, well, I'll wear a long sleeve. I'm not gonna wear a jacket. And then I froze to death. So.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool in the mornings
and in the late evenings.
Yeah.
Hey Kim. Hey Miss Rebecca.
But I think Aiden might have actually gotten sunburned when we were outside today.
Aiden worked.
Is she dirty? Okay, I'll change her.
Aiden did work. He's been rocking it. So we have a video on what we've been doing. If you remember, with our gardens, we do raised bed, then we do hugelkultur, then we do caterpillar tunnel, then we do polytarp with deep bed mulch, then we do no-till, and then we do regular till. So we have all kinds of gardens to prep every year, and Aiden was doing a little bark today, so it worked out really good. Hey, Rob, can't wait to see you at the Okie Homestead Expo. Hey, man, I can't wait to be there. It's going to be fun. Thanks, Isabel. I hope y'all enjoy for sure. It was 61 in Ohio today. See, our coldness is hitting still in the mornings. We're still about 40 to 45 in the mornings, and that's pretty chilly here at this time of year. And then by midday and afternoon, it's in the 70s, mid-70s. Hey, no problem, Simply Southern Roots. Go when you need to. Our kids are crazy, too. We understand. Hey, Miss Regina. Hey, Patty. How are you? Miss Tammy. So we've been prepping gardens. So, we grow 12 months out of the year, but this time we really start getting busy. And what's so cool is we've had piglets like crazy. We'll have a little of that in the videos in the next few days, but it's just been very busy on the farm the last few days. Hey, Miss Tammy. Misty's coming. She had to take care of the baby. If y'all hear, I don't know if y'all hear the baby. She's going a little crazy. She's a little tired. So, hey, Mandy, what was the things you were trying to grow a while ago? You can elaborate on that too. Hey, Miss Debbie, how are you? Tell me what's growing. Are y'all growing right now? Are y'all starting to grow your seedlings? Kind of give me some ideas of what y'all are doing, descriptions of your gardens right now. Like, so for instance, we're starting our tomatoes and peppers in the greenhouse as our fall onions are finishing up. Our spring onions are looking good. English peas are looking good. So tell me what you're growing. Yeah, we've had some pretty weather too down here and down south, Miss Patty. So what's everybody growing? We actually are still harvesting lettuce from fall, which is probably our longest harvest we've ever had when it's come to lettuce. And we're now still growing lettuce all the way throughout. We have lettuce growing now, new lettuce, and then old lettuce still growing. All right, so Logan, tonight we have a feed store, and people love their hats. So tonight, that's the hat we're wearing tonight. We buy a lot of hats from them. They have the best hats, the Richardson hats. I've got some new ones. You'll see in the videos the next few weeks. Miss Frankie says growing cabbage, onions, and garlic. We're still growing onions and garlic. We just ate some of our Brussels sprouts. Couldn't remember what we ate yesterday. So we ate Brussels sprouts yesterday from the garden. Actually, Misty posted them on Facebook, and they were really good.
They were good. They were super tender.
That's the first time we've really had a successful Brussels sprouts growth. And they're still looking good. But we've grown them a few times, but we've had good leaves and the real small Brussels sprouts. These Brussels sprouts, I mean, they were honking big.
They were good. They were really good, actually.
All right, Miss Patty says she is trying to plant English peas, but the critters dug them up and need to replant. Ours are looking good. Have you seen them? They're like that high.
Yep.
They're looking really nice. Hey, Amanda. Tomatoes, peppers, onions, carrots, turnips, and broccoli. Awesome. All right, so Shelly from Canada, welcome. I know it's a little bit colder there, so I doubt you're starting your spring and summer garden. So. Yeah, Meemaw said the same thing. Zone 5, Illinois here just started peppers and tomatoes, got some more elderberry cuttings. Good, we did too.
Yep, sure did. I did a good bit of work today after cleaning out the freeze dryer. I hate the way this camera looks.
I know it looks bad. It doesn't look too bad on the camera itself, though.
No, that's not too bad.
It's not bad.
On the screen that we're looking at, it's like super
grainy.
Great. Yeah. I didn't have the word, but you're right. You nailed it. Cleaned out the freeze dryer today. I went out and done a lot of compost with the rabbits today. And I've got a really cool system going. It's like a 3-bucket system where I have a bucket that catches my compost tea. I have a bucket in the middle that's kind of acts like as a filter because I cut the bottom out and put like a metal mesh down in there. And then I have one that I like let sit. It's like my holding container. And I've had this system where every day I can kind of go out and I basically have like a 5-gallon bucket of fertilizer. So it's really, I've been utilizing that really on a daily basis. So today I went out and did a bunch of that. We have 2 strawberry patches that are super
taking
thick.
Off.
They're thick. They need to be weeded out. So I went through and I got 1 row done today, and I had a 5-gallon bucket with overflowing strawberries.
So what do we do?
The runners.
We make a new strawberry bed. So every time we have splits, we always make more strawberry beds.
Taking those runners, yeah. So we're not going to be able to get them planted and to get the bed made until Friday. So what I did with them is just shook the dirt off. So it's like the top and then the roots. And I put them in a bundle in the bottom of that 5-gallon bucket and just ran some water in there. And I'm just going to let them basically soak until we can get the bed done.
All right. Mandy says, I live next to y'all. The seeds have come up and they've gotten leggy. So either you're having, so a few things. Quality soil may need a little bit more compost or manure or fertilizer or whatever you're doing. Seeds may be a little too shallow, depending on what you're growing. I don't know what you're growing. Or they're pulling towards the sun. So they're meaning that they're trying to reach the sun or try to reach an area to see the growth because they're going to always go towards the sun. So a few things in your greenhouse, make sure your bed and your seeds maybe a little bit deeper. The only things you want to keep, the smaller the seed, the less deep you go. So if you're planting things that's a little bit bigger seed, you may want to go a little bit deeper. That'll help it establish better and not get so leggy.
Well, I know something like broccoli seeds is pretty small. And I've been tempted before to just sprinkle a little bit of dirt on top. But you do need to get them a little bit deeper so that the roots they can go down more in that soil. And
broccoli gets very leggy too. I don't know what you're growing, but broccoli can get very leggy.
It does.
And it needs good quality seed starting soil. So we grow a lot of our own compost here. However, when we do seed starts, we buy organic, OMRI listed seed starting mix, and that helps us
I feel like broccoli is kind of like lettuce. It tends to be like super hard to transplant to me. Broccoli is one of those, it's really fragile. So it tends to be kind of hard to transplant to me too. So we actually direct sowed our broccoli this time.
Frankie, that's a great thing. So just like I was saying with the sun, if it's trying to pull to the sun, what it's doing is pulling upwards and not getting enough establishment. If you're using grow lights, again, pull them down closer. Frankie had a good point there.
So she also said she grew Brussels sprouts. They didn't get any bigger than marvels, although the the plant grew tall. One of the things
Are you
I
pulling the
noticed,
leaves off? So
one
you
of the
need
things
to
that I
harvest
noticed
leaves.
that ours really helped ours is I started from the bottom and I would go snapping off leaves. I would probably take 5 or 6 off at a time, and I would wait several
Awesome,
days.
Tammy.
And I went out and I took 2, 3, 4 more leaves off because our rabbits like them, which is the main reason I was going out and getting them. But then our actual Brussels sprouts really started growing.
The more leaves you have on Brussels sprouts, the less it's going to put into the
Put
vegetable.
more energy into the leaves.
That's
rather
right.
than the
So you want your
fruit that it's
nitrogen and your
yielding.
phosphorus to go towards the Brussels sprouts. So if you're finding smaller Brussels sprouts, pull the leaves off the bottom and let them kind of grow up and make one big stalk of Brussels sprouts. Okay, Mandy, tomatoes can get very leggy, especially if they're needing nutrients. So I would make sure that you've got good quality soil. Maybe make some more seed starch. Leggy, that means they're not getting some of those nutrients or sun.
Had cabbage tonight for supper. That sounds good.
Hey, little feet.
Thank you, Miss Debbie.
She is beautiful. That's right, Miss Debbie.
I had to come in and take a bath before church because I was covered in dirt from digging up strawberries all day.
Hey, every day
and from messing with the rabbit manure. So I told Colby, I was like, you can probably smell me across the kitchen. But
Amanda says our female rabbit got over a false pregnancy and she has calmed down. I don't know if breeding her is what calmed her down or if she's just had to get over it, the false pregnancy. She didn't have kits after making nest. I'd watch her. If she doesn't have it the second time, it may be time to cull that rabbit.
Well, she had never been with
a male.
Yes, I talked to her the other day.
How old is she?
She had
Amanda?
never been with.
They
had been separated. They'd been separated, but she was. They were thinking. They were wondering maybe if he might have bred her through the cage or something because she was like bedding, pulling her fur, like she was nesting, and but she did not have babies, and they weren't going to go ahead and breed her, but she was like, I hope I didn't mess up anything if she is pregnant. And I was like, you shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. So, but she was a false pregnancy. Rabbits are different.
We enjoy rabbits, but they do have a learning curve.
Yeah, they do.
Everyone at home says, how's the kiddo? Jennings is doing phenomenally well. He's doing great. Thank you for asking. Wide
open.
Huh?
So he's back wide open.
He is that.
God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt. Some people pay good money for a mud mask facial. They do. They sure do.
The rabbit is almost 1 year old. Is this her first breeding session?
I think so.
Little feet, awesome. We have really enjoyed rabbits. I know that we made that video, but I've enjoyed the rabbits.
You really will. And look, the 3-bucket system has been
We need
wonderful.
To do a bigger video on the 3-bucket system.
Yeah,
we talked about it in that rabbit video, but Missy's got a good thing going.
really enjoyed utilizing 5-gallon buckets of fertilizer every day. So, man, it has really just been good. It was so easy to do.
Yeah. Cheap. We did it with very, very cheap stuff too. So we'll do a video on that.
Yeah, she wasn't bred for a few days ago, which is what they thought. But they're like, why is she nesting? So I was like, I don't know. He could have.
At a year old, I'd watch her.
But she should be bred now.
Yeah,
we are actually supposed to have
2 sets.
3 sets of babies.
Yeah.
Depending on if our other ones are old enough. Now they're still super, super young. But if they did get bred, I put them all in separate times. One female to a male, and then I put her back, and then I took another female, put her into another male, because we have 4 males right now and 3 females, and we do have to get those numbers down some. But if all of my females got bred, and the mama should have, I don't know why she wouldn't have, but if she did, then we will have 3 sets this coming Monday. It was supposed to be I counted the first Monday in March, but I was out there today when I was out there cleaning up everything, cleaning out their pens and their cage. I was like, gosh, y'all don't look big. So I don't know if they're bred or not. I'm going to wait. If anything, it will give her a break and kind of let her regain herself, because I'm out there feeding them either lettuce or Brussels sprouts or something I have picked. Like today, they got parsley because I have some parsley plants over in my strawberries and they've grown like overgrown. So I went around the edge and just got a lot of that parsley, whatever, and went and fed it to them. They didn't act like they loved it, but they kind of nibbled on it. So if anything, it gave my mama a break. And if the baby, I say they're babies, they were born November of last year. So they should be getting pretty close to breeding age. If they didn't get bred, then that's okay. I'll likely after our Okie Homestead meetup, I'm going to come back home and probably put them back together then. So we'll see. Did you have any other does that were around her? Okay, you were asking her that. Misty, what age did you breed your rabbits? The gray one that we got that had the babies, I don't know what age she was when we got her. She was older and I believe had already had several different litters. So I honestly don't know. Now her offspring they were born in November, and I put them with a male 20 something days ago. So we'll see. I felt like they were plenty big enough. If they're not mature enough, then they're not going to breed. So I don't really kind of stress that. I just kind of let nature. I'm just gonna kind of let nature do its thing. So if they're not bred, I'll put them together again the end of this month, and then we'll go from there. So
We know one mama is a very good mama though. So
what are y'all doing with your baby rabbits, and what are they eating? Are y'all going to eat them?
Yes, we may even sell some too. I think that rabbits are an easier way, and I've seen that video of having a quick protein. We have so much meat from all the things we're harvesting lately. I'm not saying we're killing them now. We should have probably already killed some of the males, processed some of the males.
So we have way too many
males, but we may just sell some right now instead of just eating them, just because we have so much meat that we're dealing with. I mean, we've dealt with a hog butcher just this last week. We actually have another hog butcher that we need to do. And that one hog was 250
all the chickens
pounds.
that we have, plus the ground beef that we have, plus the lamb that we have.
So we may sell some of the males versus killing them right now. But for an easy, quick grow,
they grow super
protein,
fast. I would compare them to like Cornish cross.
They're a New Zealand cross, everyday wonder. I don't know exactly what they're crossed with. They're beautiful. We were kind of gifted rabbits, thinking, what are we doing with rabbits? Mm-hmm. And they've really become a very good part of the farm. They really have. Yeah.
Especially for the fertilizer. I was not really on board with the rabbits. And when they were like, look, we've got to get rid of these. Will y'all just take them? I was like, okay, we'll do it.
We'll agree, Hallie.
We'll do it mostly for the fertilizer. Has been a major thing here. Colby would probably eat rabbit before I would.
I have no problem eating rabbit.
I'm just trying to catch up on the reading, y'all. Hey, Miss Kathy from North Star Prepsteader. Thank you. I know you said hey to her a while ago. We've missed seeing you jump on our lives. And there's Grammy Karen. Has Grammy Karen been on here?
I don't know. Remember, I had to take a phone call just a second ago, so I really don't know.
I've been just talking, and I haven't been reading the chat. And I cannot do two things at one time. And reading and talking, I cannot do for sure.
I agree. Everyday wonder. I think it's like anything else. If it's like Misty doesn't like lamb, to me, this is all about the way you cook any kind of meat. Can make things taste better or worse. So
when cooked properly, it's really good.
I enjoy it.
I think it's probably more of a mental thing for me. I would have to probably not know what I was eating to eat it, and then form an opinion about it after I already ate it and didn't know what it was. Does that make sense? Just because I didn't grow up eating rabbit, and I don't know that I would be like, oh yeah, give me some of that. I want to try that. But I would if I had to.
Oh, we got them for trying to raise them for meat and definitely for fertilizer. I mean, it's a win-win.
It really
Hey, Miss
is.
Diana.
And they're small enough.
They really don't even eat a lot either.
They don't eat a lot, but they grow so fast.
Yeah.
Like I will say this: the Cornish cross growing them up, them son of a guns can eat.
They eat a lot of food.
A lot. They're little and they grow fast to be a big bird. Like our last bird was huge, but they eat a lot. The rabbits, I will say, don't eat a lot. They do grow pretty fast and they yield probably close to the same amount of meat. I guess it depends on how big your breast gets on your chickens. But for what they eat, comparison wise, the rabbits are way more economical, I feel like, than the birds.
They are very more.
Because the birds just eat so much.
Not only that, again, because the rabbits can offer so much more than just meat. They can offer the fertilization that you can utilize and the babies really quick. I mean, it's just a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and the turnaround on them with their babies is just unbelievable. Because who can stay pregnant a month and have that kind of amount of babies? A month. That's nuts. Yeah. So anyway, I'm afraid we can't eat them after raising them. I don't really struggle with that. It's probably more of knowing that it's rabbit than anything, just because like I said, I wasn't raised eating rabbit. So,
but we're the same. But I guess our kids, we always thought our kids would probably be like that. But again, our kids, they never saw like what we consider the homesteading movement other than Aiden more than any of them, because they pretty much, this is just life. So they know all our animals have purpose on the farm. So when, like the other day when we were
Freedom Rangers, Miss Frankie,
when we were butchering the pigs, our kids, they're like, but then at the same time they realize that's bacon too. So there's times that they might not want one thing or the other, but they've kind of all been used to the fact that they understand these animals are for a purpose in food.
Freedom Rangers, we hate Freedom Rangers. That's just our personal preference. We will never, ever, 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 ever have Freedom Rangers again. Freedom Rangers, we got them as a dual purpose bird 2 years ago, raised them up for a year in hopes that the hens would start laying. I was going to incubate the eggs. We were going to raise those chicks up for meat birds. They actually take longer to grow out than the Cornish cross. And they are more of a heritage bird where tend to be more dark meat. And the batch that we had was just totally crazy. And it might have been the batch that we had, but they got out of everything. They literally would kill each other. They were that crazy.
They were crazy.
And we said never, ever, 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 ever again. And the hens never laid. We grew them up to well over a year. The hens never laid. The roosters were nuts. They killed the hens. They killed each other. They were just totally psycho. Never again. Never for Freedom Rangers here again.
Chickens, they stress me out, period.
Well, on a positive note, I got 13 eggs out of the chicken coop today, and we were slowly creeping up, coming out of winter. We were getting like one here and there, and then we kind of went to none. Then we went to one here and there. Then we started getting 3 or 4. Then we started getting like 5. Now we're up to 13. So yeah, moody chickens. Good night, Miss Rebecca. Oh, we're gonna. Speaking of,
yeah. So we're not gonna be able to stay on long as an hour. We're gonna try to stay on for about another 6 to 7 minutes or so, trying to hit a 30-minute live versus doing the hour just because of time constraints. Then we know y'all are busy. And of course, with these crazy kids, it all usually goes pandemonium when we're going for an hour. So
yeah. Well, spring gets kicked in, the days get a little bit longer, and we know that a lot of people get busier because it's garden season, it's bee season, it's we're busy. So we're going to still meet with y'all every other Wednesday, and we're going to keep it between 8 and 8:30, short and sweet. Get on here, talk to y'all, see what's going on, tell y'all what's going on with us, and keep it at 30 minutes, and that's what we're going to shoot for. probably until late summer, and then we will kind of reevaluate and go from there. Yeah, so Miss Debbie, our hens usually really like that. Our hens usually stayed like that and laid all winter. I was trying to get it all out all the time. But for some reason, this winter, and maybe even the winter before, I can't remember, they just completely stopped laying. But we'd never had that problem before, just up until the past few years. So we have thought very long and hard about just getting rid of chickens altogether. But Colby was like, no, we need to keep the eggs, even though he hates chickens the most. Thank you. This was not normally back here, but I did a lot of rearranging to the kitchen. Y'all heard us talk about on our podcast, if y'all were able to listen to that we moved a lot of furniture around because we were redoing the floors, and we come across a piece that was in one of the kids' room, and we said, hey, we can make this a pantry piece for more canning jars. So we did that, and I needed more space in my kitchen, so we moved a red piece over here in this corner. And yeah, thank goodness we are done with floors.
CJ
That's all I have to say.
What's the crazy chicken's name? Did you
Freedom Rangers?
Yeah, the Freedom Rangers, the Red Rangers. A lot of people love those. We just did not.
They do not fit here on our homestead, and never again.
How do you cure ham? So what we're doing is actually curing it out now, Jesse. We have a video on that. That video, I think we did use pink salt. That's an older video. Now what we do is we get a 5-gallon bucket. We always make sure it's a food grade 5-gallon bucket. We put usually salt and sugar and make a brine based on the salt and sugar. We'll put usually equal parts salt and sugar. Pink Himalayan salt is what we're using, or coarse salt of some form, and usually use an organic or non-GMO brown sugar. Mix that into the water. Submerge the ham. We usually put cinnamon sticks, clove, pickling spice, coriander, mustard seed, and red pepper flake, and then we'll usually put some green pepper flakes in there as well, and just make a really good brine for it. It'll soak in that brine based on, I think I usually do per 2 or 3 pounds every day. So if I've got a 15-pound, ham, I may go for a week in a few days. If we've got a 20-pound like we do now, we're probably going to go about 10 days to 15 days, and that will be where it will brine, and then that's how it's curing out, actually coming from a fresh, butt of a hog to now being true ham. And same with bacons. The bacons will cure out for about 5 to 7 days, and then we'll put them all in the smoker at the same time. Yeah, yes. We've actually done Redmond salt too. Just this last time we bought Pink Himalayan, we actually could get a bigger. The place we bought it from was selling in bulk, and they had a good deal on it.
Miss Patty from Southern Blessed Homestead, working out in the garden till late, tired out and worn. We totally feel you. I feel like that's going to become more and more common the closer and closer it gets to spring, which is one of the reasons why we want to stick to 8:30, because we know people work and they come home and work some more, especially homesteaders that are trying to get those gardens up, and springtime is just a busy time. Thank you, Miss Tammy. We appreciate that. And Meemaws, I enjoyed actually doing that video. It was a lot of typing that I did. I'm not used to editing. A lot of sitting down typing that video, but I enjoyed sharing the meal with y'all. I kind of felt like y'all were having dinner with us every day. I was sharing all of that with y'all. So, all right, well, let's wrap that up. Thank you guys all for jumping on with us. We really do appreciate it.
We have a good video coming out Friday. It's a new addition to the farm, but we really hit on a topic that's kind of bittersweet to us. So you'll see that video Friday, and then the weekend we'll have another weekend edition video coming out. You're going to see a lot of gardening stuff starting to really take place because we are full on garden season, and of course as we prep going on the trip. So y'all see those in the next few videos, and we just appreciate y'all for coming on. It means the world to us. We just enjoy it.
Yeah. The closer time that it gets, we might get nervous.
I know, I'm a little nervous. So if y'all are there at the Okie Homestead Expo, and I start, like, my voice starts cracking or I get a little nervous, just wave at me and be like, you're okay, you're good.
I might need a barf bag.
Guys, thank y'all so much. You see one's brushing her teeth, that means she is ready to go to bed. God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.